everybody, it's Sherry.
And Bria.
And welcome back to another episode of Alleged Actually podcast. And tonight, we have a little something different for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to explain. So tonight is typically our Married at First Sight recap. And don't get me wrong, we're still going to be here for our maths fans, but it's more of the same. So we've made a decision that we will update you on decision day and recap that. But in the meantime, unless you're living under a rock, you have been bouldered over by North Carolina's version of Love is Blind, child. And that is what we're going to talk about tonight. Oh, yeah. North Carolina's funny. It don't get no better. Get some North Carolinians on it, and we got you. Bringing you the tea, the drama, everything that you want in reality TV. Just bring it on back to our home state of NC. We're bringing it, honey. So, Bria.
Yes.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts? Because we're going to get in these couples and we're going to give it up on what we're thinking. We are 9 episodes in. If you have not started it, guys, you can binge watch it on Netflix. If you are a lover of reality TV, you are doing yourself a major injustice. So, Bria, out the gate, was it not hot?
Yes. Honestly, this is what the vloggers, this is what everyone has been wanting, waiting for. All of these, it's all these, what is that? What is the term I'm looking for? Like, fake outs or not clickbait, but like clickbait in show, like TV show form. Where
it seems like the other ones are scripted or they are playing in our faces. Yeah.
Yes. And leave it to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Queen City!
To just completely flip reality TV upside down for a split second because, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
What?
All right.
What should we start with first? Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm going to give our watchers, our subscribers, a little quick snippet. Because if you haven't watched Love is Blind ever, I'll just tell you what the premise is, and then we're going to just get right into the tea, child. We ain't got time to be playing with nobody today, okay? It's just that hot. Love is Blind, the concept of this show is they have singles, female and male singles, that live together, and they date each other behind what's called the pod. So literally behind a wall that they cannot see each other. They have conversations with different ones they date without seeing each other. And then they get to a certain point, and it's not necessarily time. Some know more quicker than others, but it is time. By the time of you have to make a decision. So after conversations and dating behind a wall, they choose who they want to get engaged with. So these couples are engaged, and then they meet each other for the first time after all their conversations behind the pod wall. And then at the end of all of them making a decision, and this season we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 couples. And then they go off to a trip, and this one was to the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Okay. So just to let you guys know, if you haven't watched it before, it's okay, kind of along the lines of Married at First Sight, but they have had conversations before they've chosen each other. So they actually felt like they've had time to get to know each other, which I honestly think is a better concept. So, okay, neither here nor there. Go to Netflix, check it out so you can hop back on and chat about it with us, because if you haven't, do it. All right, so these are the couples. So we have Brittany and Kenneth, clayandad, Jimmy and Chelsea, Jeramy and Laura, and Johnny and Amy. All right, Bria, who do you want to start with first, child?
Okay, let's start with Kenneth and Brittany first.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so they started out, I think that what connected them, because, okay, we're going to do a lot of spoilers in this, just heads up. What
Yeah, so if you
connected?
haven't watched it, this is not the show. Watch it, then come back. And then we're going to chat about it. Put it in them comments what you think.
But yes, what connected them is that they had to grow up really fast. They're both, I feel, very mature for their ages. They're both really young, but, you know, hearing them speak, because, you know, I was playing my game, listening to it in the background. I thought they were much older than what they were, just hearing them speak.
Same.
But nonetheless, they chose each other, and I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like their connection and how they got.
So watching them in the pods, I watched their love story unfold, and I was here for all of it. They seemed as if every layer was unfolding, and they were truly connecting. And they have a spiritual background. They are both Christians. They have similar, like Bria said, struggles. And the thing was, this is a mixed couple. So Kenneth is African-American. Brittany is white. Again, remember, we're in Charlotte. This is North Carolinians. Brittany, was cool. She dates outside of her race quite a bit. Kenneth had not before. But they connected on so many levels that it just seemed right. And looking at them on either side, because we can see what they can't see, I for one, thought, like Bria said, they were very old souls, very mature, and they were in similar fields. He's a principal, she's a teacher. And so they had that in common as well in education. It seems so right? And so they chose he chose her. He got down on one knee. She accepted. It looked amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to just run down to each, and then, well, I don't know, Bria. Let's talk about each one of their love story. And even if it all kind of coincides, or we have some commingling of the other couples and when they do the group things, we can just do that too. So, okay, so Brittany and Kenneth, they decide to get engaged. They meet each other, and they seem to like each other. I will show pics of Kenneth and Brittany. Kenneth is a bigger guy. Again, I told you he's black and she's white. No biggie. She has no issues. He has not dated outside of his race before. However, they seem to meld together very well. They go on the trip. They still seem very connected. It seems calm and it seems right. I think as the trip goes on, and again, I'm giving you guys the quick version, but as things go on, it starts to seem like he has moments of introspection or some awkward silence moments. She's all in. She's very nurturing, very loving, very calm. As is he.
Right.
However, she likes physical affection. And even though he gives her some, not as much as she would like. Right. And things they have a great time. And the couples get together while they're on the island. So there's that. Particularly with those two, there's not a lot to unpack with that because they are solid. Go, Bria.
Well, I think honestly what started a lot of it was his conversation with AD when they all got together.
Yes, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Good ass.
She asked valid questions. Was it I think the debate around this is whether it was her place or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't. However, it doesn't negate that she asked valid questions. But no, wasn't her place to ask, in my opinion. And the way he answered it didn't seem like he was super confident.
Mm-hmm. So let's clue our listeners in on the conversation.
Yeah.
So AD is a Black woman who is also involved in this experiment, who also is engaged. And when the couples all come together on the island, because they are doing this together, they all know of each other. So when they get to meet each other in person, it's instant family for them. She pulls Kenneth to the side because Kenneth is in now a mixed relationship. And she asks him if he is good, if he's good with her raising Black children. And if he's good with the fact that that's going to be her responsibility, and had he thought it through, thought about what that means, he had a very perplexed look on his face, clearly not thinking that through, because again, this is the first time he had dated someone outside of his race.
Exactly. Yes. In the pods, though, he did make it clear that he was pro-Black, and that I don't know. It seemed like Brittany was okay. It like she's been here before.
That's your answer to it, though.
Yeah,
I thought it was smart.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was. Like I said, it was a valid. I don't think that he quite knew what he was.
I don't think he knew what he hadn't thought it through.
No, and I think what AD was maybe trying to do was get him to understand that it would be a lot of pressure on her as a white woman.
Raising Black children. They're going to be mixed, but the world's going to see them as Black.
Right, exactly. And like quiet as it's kept, they're under a lot of scrutiny by the Black community. And I think that she really just wanted him to understand the magnitude of that. And it's like he kind of, I don't know. I think that made him think, and maybe he really didn't. He wasn't ready for that.
Well, when he brought it up to Brittany and told her the conversation, Brittany was very gracious in saying, the only thing that I had a problem with when she kept saying, okay, well, I get it, because she identifies as a Black. No, there's no identifying. AD is Black.
Yeah,
and she kept saying, I identify as a white woman. You are a white woman.
Yeah.
He is a Black man. You know what I'm saying? She kept saying identifying. And maybe she was trying to find the politically correct words.
Yeah. I think that is what she was trying to do. I think that she, as a teacher, especially in a progressive area like Charlotte, I believe that that's just kind of something.
Well, that's a big deal. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just something that she's got accustomed to.
I was just like, what's this identifying thing? Since you are white, he is Black, AD is Black. We don't identify. We are who we are. But I get where the language as a teacher, and this, I get it, totally get it. So yes, correct, Bria. She did say though, okay, love it if she was intentional behind it, if her intentions were good in preparing you. And then she asked him, what would it be like? How could I make it for you to be comfortable and make it good for you? And he said that pretty much that her actions would have to align, her words would have to align, her actions would have to align with her words. Because she's like, basically, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. So how do I help you? Because I've dated outside my race. I've dated Black men before. I'm good with that. How do I make you good? How do I make you understand that I'm good with raising Black babies? How do you, and so I loved the fact that she was so tuned in and she was so connected. She was ready to get it. She was really here for all of this. And I'm going to give Brittany all her props because she was not playing. I felt like she was here for the real deal.
I do too. I do too. I believe that she wanted Kenneth. I believe that it just, and like if you haven't I'm gonna jump ahead. They didn't. They ended up cutting it short.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about the scene that kind of, it seemed like that was the straw that broke the camel's back? Or not the instant.
The beginning of the end scene? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, where like, and listen, I understand if you, sleep is precious. It is. It is so if you come at me at 1:30 and I gotta be up at 5 or whatever time she said.
Wrong thing to do.
I'm not gonna receive that well. Ever. Even if I've been begging you for this affection. And if you come at me at 1:30 in the morning, sir.
Never will.
And what that further tells me is that you're inconsiderate. Like, no.
Correct. Because he had been out. That's yes. Okay. So let's rewind. So after they get finished with their trip, and it's not even a honeymoon. This is a connection trip where all the engaged couples get a chance to meet and spend time together. And this particular trip was Dominican Republic. They wrap it up. Everybody goes to Charlotte, where they're going to live, where they're from, where they all reside. And for the show, they have apartments for them there. Yet they also get a chance to go and visit each other's residences, similar to Married at First Sight. Mm-hmm. However, for the time in which before they get married, they're going to stay in the places that Love is Blind has set up for them. Beautiful apartments. I think they're well done, nicely decorated. It looks like the cutest little row area. Really nice. So they're all in a similar area. It seemed to me when they got to Charlotte is when things went all the way left. Nope, not fair. Because when they were on that boat, that's when I saw it. The shift really started, like Bria said, when AD had that conversation. He got in his head. She kept trying to reach out and ask him about, how much is he comfortable with physical touch. She was asking him, where he was with, how she can make him feel comfortable. But you could see there were a lot of moments where there was awkward silences. Their excursion, because each couple went on an excursion. Theirs was on a nice boat. They went on a boat ride. She loves the water. But there were so many awkward silences that made me know that the beginning to the end was starting.
The end, yes.
It really was.
Well, no.
He just blanked out. Yeah.
No, yes. Truly that was different. Because even the AD thing, I think, he got in his head a little, but I still think he was trying to work. And maybe, no, I'm sorry, guys. Bear with us. We're all over the place. This was like a last minute decision to.
Oh, this show just creeped up on us and gave us all of our life.
Right. And so we just wanted to come up here and talk about this because I just need to talk about it, honestly. She's along for the ride, girl. But yeah, I think on the boat is when we saw the evidence of that, maybe.
Absolutely.
And he was just, and I believe if he had his phone, he would be watching some video or it's like, it seemed like that's when he checked out.
Can we talk about when he got his device back? Man, he was gone. It was a wrap. Kenneth was no more. So to let you guys know, once they got back in Charlotte and they're moving in, they got their phones back. Their phones were taken while they were doing their vacation. Listen, the minute he got his phone, and I get it, he's a principal. I know there's a lot. Shout out to all the principals out there. Kudos to what you do. You guys make a difference every day educating our youth. Thank you for what you do. But Sir got his phone and completely checked out. I mean, she was trying to set up the home. He wasn't listening. She's like, you want the left side of the drawers? You want the left side in the bathroom? You want the left side of your drawers? Homeboy was like, I could care less. And I mean, from that point.
Right. If it wasn't about what's in that phone, he could care less.
That phone was so serious. Yes. And he said he was checking on his school, but it was consistently constant. He was always distracted. And then anytime, even after, let's say, he would get done like doing a little texting and she was trying to set up the room, he's like, I'm gonna chill downstairs. There was no engagement once they got back in Charlotte. So y'all, let's just to let y'all know, and like I said, spoiler alert, we're gonna take y'all out of your misery. They decide there was a night that he stayed out late. He came in. It was 1:30 or so when he got in. She has to be up at 5 something in the morning, which you guys know is just evil to wake someone at 1:30 in the morning when they have to get up. And she wasn't receptive. And so that was his moment to say, listen, I was trying to give you some affection. Now, keep in mind, they have not been sexually active again. Not advocating that they had to be. I'm saying they have not. For him, this was his moment to give her the affection that she wanted at 1:30 when she had to get up at 5 something. Okay. And she was dead asleep and wasn't feeling it. Let me just tell you, if you ever, child, anybody that knows me knows I love my sleep. My husband knows better. Okay. Anywho, listen, make a long story short, child, after that, they both decided, well, I will say not both, because she was all in. He decided it may be better because they are Christian based. And he said, you know what? If it's not working, God will give us the strength and what we need to go our separate ways, child. And on that note, bye. He calls a friend and he bounces. And she is in the scene in the kitchen crying her eyes out. What a waste. Because that could have been a good one. If he was serious, Brittany would have made him a good wife. Would have made him a good one. Good wife, good mother to his kids. Loving, beautiful soul.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
God.
We're going to let's do a quick Jimmy and Amy real quick. Because we're going to get to the meat.
Johnny and Amy.
I'm sorry. Yes, because Jimmy is we're saving Jimmy. I apologize. Johnny and Amy. Okay? Y'all forgive me because I have been watched. I have been working. I've been staying up late, depriving myself of sleep so I can get these episodes in because it is just that serious. And I needed to do it so I can get on here and talk because, honey, what you were not going to do is let this golden gem of a show go by. Right. And let you actually not report on it while everybody else is out here talking about it in these streets. No, ma'am. So
yeah.
I'm a little sleep deprived. Yeah.
And to add to that aside, I mean, y'all, that was riveting television and Israel riveting television. Each and every last one of y'all are doing your biggest one. And well done, Charlotte. Well done.
Charlotte, you are repping for North Cackalack. Thank you. Because we are North Carolinians, baby. We are proud. We are proud. Atlanta, learn something. Y'all thought y'all ran it, but North Carolina is giving you that 1-2 punch. Anywho, we're gonna knock them out.
They do call Charlotte baby Atlanta. So
no, we the big ones. Y'all the little ones now.
Right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Come on.
All right. Well, at least for Love is Blind. Okay. So
yes.
Let's talk a little Johnny and Amy. I don't have a whole lot to say. The two of them are cute together. So Johnny, Amy is Brazilian. She's a Latina. Their biggest thing is they had a lot of good convos in the pod, and then Johnny chose Amy. He was all in. They were the first ones to get engaged. And cute couple. He's a handsome white guy. And I'm going to I will show you guys his pictures as we're talking. So y'all know that. You ain't got to worry. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the tea, the pics, all that. But Amy's a beautiful Brazilian, beautiful queen. Their biggest thing is, for some reason, Johnny is horrified to mistakenly impregnate her. And that is like their biggest hang up. They seem to get along in all areas, but he is so obsessed with the fact that she's not on birth control, which, in my opinion, is a woman's choice. Now, let me say this. I was confused because she kept saying, well, you can get a vasectomy. Now, if you ever want children, which they seem to, and vasectomies can be reversed, so let's make that clear. But why are we going through that extreme when homeboy could wrap it up? I'm Bria, help me with them because I'm struggling with them. That's why I want them to go next because I don't have a lot to add because I'm still figuring them out. What you got, Bria?
Well, you know me and my conspiracy theories. I think that Johnny Boy is smitten over Amy. And I think the producers are like, hey, I know y'all are in love, but we got to have something. What is it? You said your blood vessels did something with the birth control. Use that. Use it. We need something from y'all. Y'all are cute, but y'all are boring.
They are boring.
That's my thought. But cute.
They are so cute. They're cute.
Yes.
No, they are good for the show, but there's no meat there. I can't give you, the only thing I can give you on Johnny and Amy is the fact that he's afraid to sleep with her because he don't want to prematurely impregnate her. He wants kids, but not now. He's saying, I want it someday, but I don't want an Amy Jr. and a John Jr. now. And
even the way that he says that, though, like he even like gets a weird like glow in like smell it.
Like he really wants it, right?
I think that he would. I think he'd be okay. I really do. I'm not saying that some men really do want their duck, like all of their ducks in a row, and there are some people like that because I am one of them. I want to be like making six figures before I marry. So but I don't know. Something, like I said, I'm a body language girl. I look at his face, he's glowing. Something tells me the producers are egging that on. I don't know.
You could totally be right, Bria. Totally. Because I can't figure it. Because that's really their only beef.
Because it makes no sense. You're going to jump
into a
sense. Like, as another, come on, dude, really? When you know,
that makes no sense. It really makes no sense.
That condoms exist. Like, I feel like this is all and like, why would you jump to that extreme unless you're trying to really beef it up? Like,
it would have to be because you would just wrap it up. I mean,
exactly. I don't
vasectomy, bruh. Why? That is not even necessary. Y'all are so young, and y'all don't have any kids yet, and you actually want kids. Again, it can be reversible. Why would you pay the money to get it done if you want kids? It's foolish. But I will say this: they're a lovely couple. Mm-hmm. On his side of the family, they totally approve. The only other thing that may be a thing with them is her father may not approve. She said she couldn't go forward with it if he doesn't. But so far, it looks like they are progressing lovely. So more to follow on Johnny and Amy. But now we're going to move on to the couples. Well, I take it back. We have 3. Let's get, oh gosh, I don't even know who we should, because let's go with Clay and AD first. We'll go with Clay and AD, and then we'll take our last gems last. So, Clay and AD. Okay. So, Clay and AD are a Black couple. AD and Clay had a rocky start in the pods because he was so motivated by physical appearance. Which AD had, child. She's your child. That girl body be bodying. Mm-hmm. So that was not her issue ever. But I can see because she's a real estate agent, but she spent time as a cheerleader for the Carolina Panthers. She's dated a lot of athletes. Let's be clear. When your body's bodying, you're an athlete and you date athletes, sometimes that's what they lead with. And I'm sure she, at this point in her life, is sick of it. She got it to offer, but she didn't want that to be the deciding factor. It was getting to know her. And that's what the whole thing with this experiment is. Behind a wall, you talk to me, get to know me, my voice, my loves of things, my beliefs. Do our beliefs align? Do we like the same things? Are we on the same page? That's what it's about. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I have seen Love is Blind work for a few couples. So I have a little more faith in them than I do maps these days. But she was in between him and another gentleman. This gentleman he was Caucasian, and he was between her and another young lady. So I think that for a minute while they were in the pod, she was a little thrown off because Clay came at her I think he came at her the way that she's normally approached, and it was a turn off for her. Mm-hmm. And then when she kind of basically put him in his place, he felt rejected and cried, and he came at her differently. So with that being said, her and the other gentleman, what was his name, Bria?
Matthew, you don't know?
The white one that was trying to pursue her, that told her and the other girl the same thing, and literally within minutes of each other, the literal same verbiage.
Matthew.
That we can leave together. Okay, Mr. Matthew, yes, child. He was lying, child, telling her and another girl the same stuff. Down till we can leave today. I wish I could talk to your dad. Her father is deceased. Oh, I would like to ask your hand in marriage, child. It was all. And what was so crazy was, if you looked at him, you would not think he's giving back, because the energy he was giving in the guy's pod apartment house he was a little distant and not as engaged with other guys, but you wouldn't think he was giving game like that, but he sure Lord was. And those girls talked, and the other girl left. Huh?
I said, I don't know if I would call that game as much as
lies, gaslighting.
Yeah, I don't think that's game. Like, because I mean, honestly, why would you tell somebody, like, two people that
the same thing,
living in the same, like, living the same? Why would you do that?
That's weird.
That's idiotic.
Knowing that these ladies live in the same, they live in the same vicinity. They live in the same area. The likelihood of them talking is high. So
that's weird. That's
it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why,
I don't know what you call that, but maybe bold, maybe
audacious. But you're good with those terms, honey, that I don't have. Ray, you have those psychological terms. I don't have.
For some reason, I'm blanking right now, but I'm not trying to diagnose anybody either. But there's got to be some type of psychological term for
that. Was very uncalled for and very strange, because they were two very different women, and I don't know why he felt the need to say the literal verbatim same thing to both of them.
Maybe because they were so different, he wouldn't think that they would talk.
Well, but listen,
anyways,
here's my thing. The best thing that happened for her was that the two of them talked. She found out, and she knew, because she was pretty much sold on him versus Clay. And the other woman was so ticked off, she just straight left.
Yeah.
And then he decides he's leaving to go chase after her. And we'll find out later in the season how that even works. Joe, who knows? Probably not. But anyway, it might. Who knows? Anyway, so Clay and her work it out. He realizes the error of his ways by wanting to know about how her appearance looks, her body, And he does propose. She accepts. They meet each other, and it goes well. And they also join the other couples on the island. Now, Bria and I have had this discussion. She called out some stuff I didn't see. But then when I really dove deeper, I saw it, and I'm still dissecting it. So look, listen, we're still unpacking this. Tag you in, Bria. What you gotta say there?
Now, this is alleged, actually, where we do say things allegedly. We're just giving our opinion. We are a mother and daughter from North Carolina, just talking. All right. He's very for starters, it comes across as very performative when he's talking to her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you know, I'm so happy. This is so great. This is awesome. Like, oh, so happy.
You
So
said
happy.
that so much. Yeah.
Like, and when, like, you know, like, you know, alerts and all this starts going off in my head, the red flags and all of these things, when somebody is just kind of over.
Mm-hmm. Love bombing you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, it could be like, I don't know, his dad is Guyanese. Maybe like it's a culture, like maybe that's just the way they.
It could be. And honestly, the two of them look amazing together. They do. They look like you could put them on a postcard. They look amazing together.
Yes.
They do.
Yes. But something isn't right. And I think she knows that too, deep down.
Yeah.
When she's like, when he's talking to her, she kind of has like an inquisitive, like, look on her face, like a, yeah. Mm-hmm. And people have like made comments about this, saying that like she's not receptive. She's like probably not paying attention. I think that she's paying a lot of attention. I think
she has very much paying attention.
Super analyzing this right now.
Yeah.
I think that what she's seeing is that something isn't, because when you're a cheerleader, you're exposed to a lot of different kinds of
men. She's dated athletes, professional athletes. Right. So honey, she knows the red flags, baby.
Right.
All right, here's my thing. Yeah. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm just gonna give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, okay, you know what was so loved to me was the scene when they went to eat and he wanted the soup, because I can relate. Bray, did you see how he ate that soup? And then,
honestly, we didn't even go back to when he was in the like. So many people commented on this when they were like, he was talking about the attraction thing actually, and just like on the floor, like picking at his feet. Like he's so cringe. He has the weirdest mannerisms. I'm sorry, he just does.
He does have some strange mannerisms. I'm gonna give you that. And my thing was, she just looked. You know what? I'm gonna give her so much grace because she just looked at dude like, really? I mean, I know he was hyped for the soup because he said it. Know how it is. I love you a good bowl of soup too, but sir, you going like blowing it, it's fine. Slurping it is not. You tear it down, you eat a couple bites of the plantains, and then you proceed to stack it up. Clearly he's worked in a restaurant before, because when people do that, they've been servers before. Have you noticed, Bria? Because you worked in the restaurant industry before. Did you see that? She's looking at him like, why are we scraping plates and stuff? That's because clearly he has worked as a server before. Really. Or a bus boy or something, child. He has. There's nothing wrong with that. That ain't even what we're talking about. What I'm talking about is, I think it's his lack of self-awareness. She's looking at him like, really? He's I mean, he don't care. He was all about the soup.
Yeah.
Minute detail. So I'm not gonna get into that. But here's where we're going with this, okay? All right, on that particular scene when they went to eat, and this is when the trip is wrapping up, because when they first okay, let me just tell you guys. First of all, we have already told you that AD's body be bodying, right? Mm-hmm. AD has a banging body. She does.
Yes.
Young lady she's like that. I'm giving her all her props, okay? Mm-hmm. That gym did her right, her genetics, whatever it is. She looks great.
Mm-hmm. And listen, don't sleep on cheerleading. Cheerleading is an intense sport. Okay?
Listen.
And those bodies be bodying. Okay. Like, I mean,
do.
The way that you're
looking at two generations of cheerleaders. I was cheerleader in my day, and my daughter was as well. In our Bria's still there, but in my heyday, listen, body was bodying, boo. So, listen, being a cheerleader prepares you for all things wonderful in life, and you ain't got to get no injections in nobody's hind parts. There you go.
Right.
Get a pom pom. It ain't no pom pom. Let's be clear. We're athletes. Stop playing with their games.
Dude,
Right.
You try doing try doing those routines, and then like having to say a cheer afterwards, like with
have your breath ready. Hey, no rapper singer.
They couldn't. But anyway,
we digress.
Back on topic.
Okay, so here we go with Clay and AD. Here's my predictions. Okay, so Clay is concerned about letting her down because he was raised, his mother and father were together for years and then divorced. His father was a serial cheater. Not that this matters or has anything to do with being a serial cheater, but his father's Guyanese. So we get a chance to meet the mother and the sister. His mother's name is Margarita, his sister's name is Taylor, because there's a part when all of them get a chance to meet the families. And mother seems approved, but letting her know he's in tech sales of some sort. And his schedule is cuckoo crazy. But aside from that, prior to even getting to meet the mom and the sister, he's kind of foreshadowing perhaps what may be their fate. He is horribly concerned. His father used to take him on trips when he cheated on his mom. He grew up in the cheat zone. It's all he knows. He even stated that he doesn't have any example in Black couples where there was faithfulness, and that's sad. And so she is not reacting yet. I think she's listening and kind of processing.
Yep.
But he is clearly setting her up to let her know that he is predisposed to be a cheater.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, what he's basically, yes, he's setting the stage, setting the scene, whatever you call it, and providing that as the basis of his excuses when it inevitably happens.
Perhaps.
I've been there. Okay.
listen.
That's what he's doing.
My daughter is. Hey, listen. She is the negative one. I be trying because I have high hopes for Clay and AD, but I feel you, Bria. He was definitely setting the groundwork for. Hey, just so you know, when I cheated on you, I had a good reason. I don't know anything.
And he's gonna do all the dramatics. He's gonna cry. He's gonna get on.
He's a crier,
and he's
going to do of lies.
He's gonna do all of that good old emotional manipulation just to reel you back in, and then he's gonna do it again, and again. So,
but listen, we digress.
I'm just saying. And I'm just gonna say, sadly, I mean. Being a how do I say this? When you are the type that athletes like to go after, or that type of man who just looks good, when you're that when they pursue
that arm candy,
exactly, you know how they act. You know their patterns, exactly. And I'm sorry, he just like AD, I am a moderately attractive Black girl with a
you're a beautiful body girl with a nice body.
And that's
it sets you up. Right. It sets you up for particulars, and then the red flags when they start red flagging.
Right.
And that's why when you see her make those faces, that's what she's responding to. She's listening.
It sounds familiar. It does. We've heard it. Heard it. Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's why I clocked it as soon as I clocked it before. Like when he was making those comments about her appearance before,
When they
That
came out
man
with
is not
Pod, when they
going to
first
be.
met. Yeah.
It's not, that man is not going to be any good to you. He is going
It's
to
very
have to.
superficial.
Yes, he needs
Very.
a little bit more self-discovery before
Agreed. Now he
before he
did say
takes
he wanted to do therapy, and that would be their only saving grace, if in fact he does it. The
right.
child.
But I do believe that he's still gonna, even that, even saying that, I feel like that's manipulative a little bit still. Sorry. But
I'm
I
not
think
gonna
that
say.
you have
Listen,
potential to be a great dude, just not right now. Okay? Just
I
not right now.
agree. Semi. I'm gonna give you that one, Bria, because I've been wrong. Lord knows you had these debates before, so I'm gonna give you that one. I definitely saw the red flags. I saw her face, her concern, and I think the concern is valid. So more to follow on good old Clay and AD, but yeah. So now we're gonna go. Let's go to. Which one do you want to do? Do you want to go Jimmy Chelsea or Jeremy Laura?
Let's do Jimmy Chelsea because Jeremy Laura.
That's our last one, child, because we need to bring it home with that. Because you guys are going to want to tune in next week. So for those that don't know, the new episodes are going to air Wednesdays at midnight. So we will not get new episodes until the 28th. Just so you know, I'll be in a new location next week. I have to travel for work, but child, listen, bring in my stuff with me. I will be on. Don't you worry. Still going to be here, and we're going to be talking about it. So okay. So Jimmy and Chelsea. So let me just start it off with Jimmy was torn between two women. It's between Chelsea and between Jessica. He had a good connection with both. Honestly, I think what deterred him from Jessica was the fact that Jessica had a child, in my opinion. That she was already a mom. And I don't know if it was the fact that it was the child or the fact that there was a baby daddy in the picture, or maybe a combination of both. What do you think, Bria?
I do think it could be a combination of both. Jimmy strikes me as someone that doesn't do well or wouldn't do well in that type of setting.
Yeah, he seems insecure.
Yeah. He's like, I'm the daddy now. Probably, so, and I don't think
the fact that he's so involved and they do this so well was a turn off. If he was a deadbeat dad, he probably would have been more receptive.
Right. So, but who's to say? I don't know, because we'll say. But also, I believe that when Chelsea said that she looked like a certain celebrity, that also played the decision.
Wait. Okay. All right. Those of you guys that are tuning in, it's because you have watched. Y'all know who she's. Child, she said she looked like none other than the lovely Miss Megan Fox. Listen. There were girls in the pods that could have pulled that off better. Man. Now look, I'm a girl's girl. Okay? I am. I love women. I love us. I love our struggle. It is not easy in these streets. When you're dating and navigating life, men are a lot. And when I say that I love women, I love us because there's so much to us that men don't get. And when we're trying to effectively date and intentionally date, there are certain things you do. Wait. There's certain things you do to make sure you weasel out the guys that aren't here for the right reasons, right? The thing you don't do is you do not tell a man that you look like
a literal bombshell. Okay,
Megan the bombshell Fox. I'm just saying. Go ahead,
come
Bria.
on.
Get it, Bria.
Okay, so we all know that even if you haven't watched this show, you know of that comment. It is the comment heard around the world.
Oh, it's on TikTok, social, Instagram, everything.
You've got people that look like this talking about, yes, people say I look like Megan Fox or Beyonce. She started a whole entire TikTok. Listen,
I am so mad at her for that.
Listen, and then okay, so when she, I'm going to like jump forward just a little bit because this is not really
okay.
When he meets her friend, right, and then she's like,
oh yeah,
she's like, what celebrities like all the time, guys? Which one is it? And they were like, Carrie Underwood, and they were, and then come here, and then Jimmy was like, I can see that, quick, and
that's a lie.
And then she was like, and then she's like, no, which one, which else, which one, there's another one, which one, like who said it on the plane that one time? And they're like, oh, Megan Fox. And she didn't say, and she, look. And she didn't say that one time. And she didn't say that one time, but what I believe, right, is that it was one time. And,
Una.
Hold on. And that.
Come on back, Brittany.
There were like some airplane bottles involved.
You think?
When it was said. And that, maybe on a drunken, like, not, maybe. But no. And then she's like, well, it's just the blue eyes, the dark hair. You could have said Katy Perry. You could have said Zooey Deschanel. You could have said, who else, Mom? I know.
Oh,
you
could have said China the Wrestler. She could have said China the Wrestler. What you think? She could have.
But you said Megan Fox. This girl, do you know this girl set the world ablaze when she first came out? You knew what you were doing when you said that. You knew what you were doing.
You were solidifying the bag in that way. But let me tell you something. And let me just say,
a small town country boy from Rambleman, you don't think he's going to pick someone that looks like Megan Fox?
The thoughts of Megan Fox being his wife? Who ain't?
Come on now.
Let me just say this.
She knew what
Carrie
she was
Underwood. No. We have to give Carrie Underwood her props. No, ma'am. Carrie Underwood, I'm going to stand up for you, too. She sure don't look like you. We're not doing that. And I can't see it. We're not going to see it. Carrie Underwood,
I see that more. But look, I see Carrie Underwood way more than I see Megan Fox.
No, ma'am. Nope. No, I don't. And you know what? We're not doing that. That's not fair to Carrie Underwood. She ain't signed up for this.
She ain't done to nobody. She just minds her business. She ain't
don't bother nobody. She sing good songs. I love her music. Listen, I like the one when she be tearing up the person's car. And maybe child before he cheats. And
it's a good one. It's a banger.
It's a banger. It's one I'm gonna keep on rotation for the rest of my life. I love it.
Quiet as it's kept. It's a hood classic for real. Like they don't understand it. They just
every woman of all races and all ethnicities and all walks of life can relate. You have wanted to tear up somebody's car before. Now, anyway, let me just say, Carrie Underwood, shout out to Carrie Underwood. No, ma'am, I'm not even gonna let her have that. She's not gonna play in your face either. Now, here we go. Back to Jimmy and Chelsea because he chose her on false pretenses. Mm-hmm. As superficial as they may be, she made it superficial because she gave him a visual. Men are visual creatures, and we all know that, right?
Absolutely.
So when you tell somebody, well, I mean, I guess someone said like a celebrity, they would say
one person
like, let's go.
Yes.
All right. Sure. Child, when they met, and the thing, here's me. For me, if I say, okay, that's like me saying, hey, boo, you know what? If someone said like somebody, it's like Beyonce, right? Okay, I'm going to say Beyonce, right? Then I'm going to come through and see him for the first time and then running him all fast.
Not running him all fast.
No, don't be running.
But it's true though. She came at him wide open. And I would be like, look, slow it down. Because listen, if I'm expecting Megan Fox and I'm seeing that come at me, I'm gonna be taking it back.
Taking it back wide open, running like a stampede, jumped on the man. He couldn't even process that he's not getting Megan Fox. He's getting Megan Knox. And my thing is
Megan Faux, honey. Megan
Faux. Faux boo. Faux. Megan Faux. Look.
AUX.
And to our dear listeners and watchers, we are not slamming her looks. She is an attractive woman, but what you don't do
look like Megan
is
Fox.
misrepresent the way you look. That's all I'm saying. Because again, I know my I know what I look like.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna tell somebody I look like Holly Berry or Beyonce or I'm not gonna do that because that's not what I look like. That's all we're saying.
I'm right.
Because my husband thinks I'm beautiful and I think I'm beautiful, but I'm not gonna sit out there and tell a man, if you pick me, you're getting a Beyonce look like. That's a lie.
Right.
A whole lie.
That's essentially what she did.
That's what she did. So the woman that he was essentially between the two, and not that it matters, but Jessica was more in line to say that than Chelsea ever could. Okay? And it was even her line that wore me out. And we will say that we'll go down and love his line.
Let's get to that iconic soliloquy that Miss Jess
did
when he made his decision on Megan Faux. That was iconic.
It was. And it was.
Now I will say this. I'm not gonna do too much because, girl, if I see in the next episode he sees you and he's not choking, and you're like giggling in his face and he's not choking, he's giggling with you, I'm not gonna like that.
No,
we stand on business around here.
We do.
But still an iconic soliloquy.
Agreed. She said when he didn't choose her, when you see me, you are gonna choke. Not only are you gonna choke, sir, she gonna need your EpiPen. That means his allergies gonna kick up. He gonna go into a phylactic shock without that pen. That's how bad she thinks she is versus Chelsea. And I'm not gonna lie. Depending on your preference, and if his preference is a Megan Fox, she certainly is more in line with the Megan Fox than Chelsea is. And y'all can get mad, put in your comments.
Do it.
Listen.
It's not in my mind. She was iconic in that. She knew exactly. She knew that he was a visual creature. She knew that he was more superficial than not. She knew that she beats her down. Like, she does. I'm sorry. I'm just being real.
We have to be honest, right? Isn't that what we're supposed to be?
Exactly. Chelsea's a cute girl, but Jess is bad. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There's different. You can't compete where you can't compare.
I know where I'm at. Listen. I don't get mad. See, I don't get mad. I ain't even mad. You know what? You got it. When you got it, you got it. I get it.
You got it.
So I'm not mad. And I don't think Chelsea should be mad because Chelsea knew better.
Anyway, but that's why deep down we're going to get into it. Because we're not nearly done with this.
Okay, no, we're not. So let's get off that. The whole Megan Fox thing. That is a thing that's all around the internet. You guys have seen the memes and all that. That's why. So they actually do get engaged and they go off to the island. Okay. So they start off good because Jimmy is a good sport. And I'm not even going to say good sport. I'm not, because I think he truly fell in love with her first.
Yes. Southern gentleman. I'm going to say that I'm not going to... never mind. We're going to keep going.
Back. One more thing, though. We're not saying that Jimmy is a banging prize either. We're not. But we're saying that it's wrong when another person misrepresents themselves to the other. That's all. I'm not saying that Jimmy is some banger that, has to have someone on that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying when you deliberately misrepresent yourself, just like when people catfish people, it's the same thing. Legitimately. Is it not?
Right, because she could have kept her mouth shut. She could have said like she never
She
said
should have
that.
said nothing. I think he would have picked it regardless. Right. So therefore, and then he would have thought to himself, well, I chose her solely on who she was as a human being and not because she misrepresented herself on the way she looked. And
right.
Good, right?
Right. The Megan Fox thing wouldn't even been a factor.
She should have never listen.
Sorry. I'm sorry. We keep harping on it. Let's go. Let's
get off it. All right. Let's go. So they get to the island and they're with the other couples and she meets him, and off top, because when you lie, you immediately become insecure, correct? When you lie about how you look or you misrepresent yourself, when they met, he was like, oh, he had to have a minute process. That's what if someone told me to look The Rock and they came out looking like Kevin Hart, no disrespect to either, but it would take me a minute. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So therefore, he
or even if I was promised The Rock and Drake came out, I would be disappointed.
And as would I. I mean, we can do like names after names. But all of them in their own right are nice looking men. So I'm not disrespecting. Because for all you fans out there, I love Kevin Hart, God knows, love The Rock, love Drake, love them all. Right. I'm saying if you say you look like one thing and you come out looking like another thing, if this person has that in their head, you guys know that's not fair.
Right.
And it's not all superficial, but if you tell someone that, and that's what they're expecting, but we're getting off of it, we digress. Yeah. So let's go. They're at the island. She's feeling insecure. The couples all get together. She's constantly making him kiss her, say, I love you. And he has done that. And given her a gorgeous ring. The couples get together for a meet and greet, all the engaged couples. And he makes a comment on Miss AD's body that's body. And it was body.
It was.
It was. And to be fair, she picked up because she was embarrassed. The other ladies were there, but the other ladies know what body be body into. The child, she goes, yeah, AD, he wants to know how'd you get a butt like that? And that gives him a free invitation to go over and talk to her, throw her around so he can look at it up close and impersonal, and proceed to talk to her. It was giving to me, thank you so much, Chelsea, for letting me approach this woman.
Yes. Like if it were sports, like she literally gave him the assist. Like she literally like, no, there you go. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna slam dunk that, and he did. He took it and he sent that man.
Slam dunk. He did.
And he took it there. He did. He took it there.
He happily took it there. And AD didn't seem to mind. She likes the attention. I'll give her that. And I'm sure she's used to it.
Right.
Of course.
To me, it didn't seem. And I think that this is honestly a shaky subject too, because like you don't want to be seen as like this. Like the slightest inflection would have been, oh, well, he was just giving you a compliment. Why do you have to do that? So it's like, I feel like she handled it the best she could in that situation. And yes, y'all can stay mad. The girl is banging. She's got a banging body. Chelsea through the alley to let him do that. So
she did that to herself. So if you're mad, be mad. Good gracious, right. She did it to it. She could have said nothing.
She knew. But when you're insecure like that, you're going to, I guess, try to get in your brain, get ahead of the insecurity.
It's a passive aggressive move.
Yes. Yeah. And it's an inadvertent way to kind of embarrass AD because
you feel crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
It didn't work. It didn't work, by the way, y'all. It didn't work. She had to turn around and show him all of that.
It completely backfired on her, actually.
It backfired. And she looked crazier, which did in the next scene. She comes at him crying about how silly she looked. And He apologizes. They end up actually consummating their, well, let's don't say consummating because they're not married, but they end up having sex. She's all happy. She tells the girls. They, have a little chat and laugh about it. And then even then, though, he'll do things to reassure her in the minute, in my opinion, to shut her up. Mm-hmm. Then when he has that minute, when he's back out on the scene with the couples or whatever, he really doesn't pay her any mind. So let's fast forward to they get done with their trip, and then they are now in Charlotte. They check out each other's homes. She has a roommate, which he does not like. He says her roommate is a lot. She did seem to be a lot, though. And he has this nice plush, or I would say plush, Studio Plus. I'll say Studio Plus because it's bigger than what you would think a studio is. It was a nice size. I mean, and we all know Charlotte is about that paper. So it obviously was in a really nice area, really nice studio apartment. Mm-hmm. So if they make it, that's where they are slated to move into. Okay. So there's some things we've left out. So when they first got to the island, I'll back it up to here, and then we're going to go jump back. So bear with us, guys, because we have just binge watched 9 episodes. So we just want to give you, we're not going to play by play it all. I want you to watch it because when the next set of 3 come out, we'll do more of that. But we want to give you our opinion on the show because we think it's pretty great.
And it is. And quite frankly, not our fault because Netflix did not do any type of announcement.
They didn't.
I found
no promotion.
Somebody on Facebook said it was on. I don't know why they did us like that, but
don't matter.
I guess they were like, shoot, this don't even need advertisement. This season is going to sell.
Charlotte is giving all that it's supposed to give. Okay? So I am a proud North Carolinian, and Charlotte, you did that. Thank you for giving us some real good reality TV content to actually speak on because we have been struggling. We will give you the shows that you want us to recap on, but we want something that we actually enjoy. And I love my Bravo shows, but they just haven't been giving lately. Right. So this was actually a gem of a stumble upon because I watch Love is Blind, but they normally will start promoting it before it comes on. They'll rerun the old ones or promote the old ones to get you ready for the new ones. Child, they do none of that. But listen, it don't even matter because we are here. So when we rewind Jimmy and Chelsea, when they first get to the island, he basically is kind of reprimanding her for speaking out on the fact that he said after him and Jessica had a conversation when she basically told him about her daughter and about her life, he didn't receive it well. So he felt like she kind of beat him down because, I mean, listen, she said, like I would say, me and my kids are a package deal. You can talk slow if you want to, but not with that. She actually even said, you got one more time to make me feel like I'm an option, not a choice. You know what I mean? So it was a rough conversation for him. And clearly he's not used to being put in his place. And so when Chelsea walks in, she was a calming voice. She was reassuring. And that's when he basically said, I love you. She comes back to the women's pod, tells Laura, and she goes and tells Jessica. And that was the beginning of the end. So the regret comes back when he actually has seen her. They are now on their trip. And he brings it up as a manner of being reprimanded. And I felt like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, it was clear regret. And
yep,
I don't know what I would have done with that if I was Chelsea.
Should have.
Right.
Is leave because at that point he's making it very clear that he doesn't have your back and that you basically kind of you
sabotaged who he really wanted.
Exactly. You sabotaged a relationship with someone that I want to kind of be with after this. So no. Like that, I mean, and the girl is already, you can tell she's already feeling like, oh, he really doesn't.
He's not into me. Yeah.
I'm not delivering Megan Fox. I can't, and I, you know what I'm saying? And it would be, I'm so sorry, but like, never mind. I'm not going to do it. That was what I mean, but.
I mean, okay.
It's just,
and we're not, look, first of all, we're not trying to be mean. It's just,
no,
again, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm not going to say I look like something that I don't look like and expect to get mad when a man is disappointed because he's not getting what he thought. If it came out of my mouth and I know it's not true, you have to own that. And then her constantly making him reassure her, tell her that he loves her, that he's into her. That's not fair.
It's not. And you know that lie that she told him is at the crux of all this. She knows that she's not who she said she was. And when you have to cover up and cover, I mean, it does. It starts to wear at you because then you're thinking, I mean, did he pick me because I said this? I mean,
it's a possibility. And my thing is, who's to say that at the end of this experiment that he won't reconcile his feelings and understand that who she is to him is more important than the whole.
Right.
But she has got to understand that she has played a part in his confusion and his back offness and maybe even his off-putness. I mean, if a man told me, hey, I'm this, and I'm not a superficial person, but let's be fair. You told me something that I'm expecting. And now that's not what you are. And that's not all that I like about you, but now I know you're a liar.
Right. I know you're a liar, and now you're.
He even said she lied.
Right. And now you're insecure and making me kind of have to pay for your insecurities by like
driving. You're the one that said it.
By like begging me for reassurance every 5 minutes. No, that's not it. That's not okay. That's not. I
don't think so. I honestly don't think so. All right, so we're gonna wrap them up, but here's how we're gonna do it. So they're back in Charlotte. As soon as they get back in Charlotte, Chelsea's back on the whole thing. He hasn't kissed me in a couple days. There's no affection. Her girlfriends come through. She tells him that what she's feeling. They actually get a chance to meet Jimmy. They feel like she's being ridiculous. We're talking about a day or two. He said that before they even came over, and she started complaining that he hadn't kissed her all day. And remember, he had bit his lip when he was eating taquitos on the island. That's his excuse for not kissing her. His lip was toe up. Mm-hmm. It was to the point that she complained so much that he called her clingy. She got infuriated. They got into an argument, and he actually went back to his apartment. And so they spent a night alone from each other. He comes back. That's the day that her friends come over, and they talk about it, and they kind of make her feel ridiculous because it's a bit much. She's doing too much.
Right.
But I don't doubt because it comes out that Laura meets Jessica at a bar in Charlotte because they're all friends. Mm-hmm. And Jessica lets Laura know that as soon as they left and they got their phones back, he sent her a friend request. Because she took too long to respond, he retracted it. She got a chance to see what he looked like. He did not get a chance to see yet what she looked like. She let Laura know that it is not off the table for her to meet him. And she asked Laura, which I thought was messy, which is karma is a you know what. But anyway, she asked Laura if she thought that he would meet her or want to meet her. And she said yes. Now, keep in mind, Laura is also one of the couples. She's part couple with her man, Jeramy. Mm-hmm. So these couples have been through this experience together on the island. They did their little trip together and they, so they have confided in each other. I thought that was messy. I know Jessica and Laura were friends, but they had Chelsea also was a friend of her because that's who Chelsea confided in, that he told her that he loved her. Messy, 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 Laura, messy. What do you think, Bria?
Oh, yes. I do. I think that was very messy. I think that, like I said, she clocked the fact that Demi was visual and knew that he would try it when he got out after he saw what he chose. I just... Laura, she's
a lot.
She is. I wanted to like her, like, but she's a
mean girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was it started with the bean dip comment, like she's weird.
Why even do that? And I think that's degrading and that's disrespectful to AD.
Yes. And further, and I feel like that was also not to the extent that Chelsea did, but I feel like she might have caught Jeramy looking too and was like, hey, do that to her. And that was her way of trying to get ahead of it.
Aggressively get at,
I think that, right. And I really do. I think that all of them owe AD an apology because they were being so inappropriate with her that night.
I think she's used to it. The guys all apologized to her, but the girls did not. Yeah. Right. I agree with you 1,000,000,000%. Yes. The guys did approach her and apologize for all of that because they felt bad. Yes. She seems like she let it roll off her back because I'm sure she's used to it, but does not make it okay.
But that's unacceptable.
Very disrespectful.
It was sad. It was
disrespectful to her and it was disrespectful to Clay. Absolutely.
Yes. And right. Yes. I mean, he literally he barely did anything, but I mean, it was men and women coming at her just so disrespectfully that night.
It was sexualizing her in a way that she wasn't even here for that. She was trying to get to know her man. Uncalled for, guys.
He was chilling,
it was uncalled for.
Yes, the women owe her an apology too. But back to the Laura thing. I think that she's messy, and but we'll get to that. But anyway,
all right. So where we are going to leave Jimmy and Chelsea is this. It's clear.
I want to go to the friends. The choice, her choice, and so she had her girlfriends, right? That her good girlfriends that met. He had her these two girlfriends that he had too.
Barbara and Maddie.
Yes. And they seemed, I'm almost inclined to believe that in the next episode where she's going off and saying that you blank or one of them, they were very, they seemed, their body language was very weird. Girl,
I agree.
It was a very girl, I know something that you don't energy.
And it wouldn't shock me if either one of them was one of his friends with benefits, both, or they certainly have mutual friends that are, and that they were trying to be messy.
But yes,
it was very clear they knew that she was not his type.
Absolutely. And I think that they turned it up a little bit because I really do. I think that Jimmy's trying to kind of, in a subtle way, get her to be like, I can't do this anymore.
I think you're right. No, I think that's going to be his easy way out.
Right. But not make it super obvious. But I just wanted to bring that because I felt that was the
that's
selection.
Important because I guarantee it's going to come up again. Yeah. Good call, Bria. Good call. Yeah. So we're going to leave Jimmy and Chelsea there because God knows there's more to follow on them, y'all. They are the big draw of Love is Blind, Charlotte, North Carolina. But who knew that we would end the way we ended with Mr. Jeramy and Miss Laura? Now, a little background on this couple. So behind the pods, he too was torn between two women. Jeramy was torn between Laura and Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann and him had good banter, but Sarah Ann lacked the depth he was looking for. He needed someone that he could joke with and have fun with, but that when he wanted to have those deeper conversations could bring it. Sarah Ann just wasn't giving that. Laura was. But what Laura was giving was sometimes a very cynical, maybe too blunt. I think that he was looking for a happy medium, but he went with Laura because he wants someone he can build a future with, not someone he can just play with. And so I understood it. So that was his decision. He and Laura met after they became, he proposed, they were engaged. They seemed happy, and they too go to the island. It starts off as it appears to me, he certainly seems physically attracted to her, but I think that her bluntness and her sharp tongue is a turnoff for him. And that even plays into what Bria was talking about with the bean dip comment. There's some inside joke that the women had where the comment bean dip meant that you do something inappropriate. It has something to do with AD, like she wanted him to bean dip her, which honestly, y'all can put in the comments if y'all know what that means. That could be a thing. I don't.
Literally, it's like smacking you in the boob.
Okay, got it. Well, that's childish. That's like 10. But well, you don't even have boobs at 10. All right, that's like 12 or 13. Anywho, that's really childish. But with that being said, she's just kind of abrasive at times. She is, her wit, her humor is dry and off-putting at times. I think that she sees in him similarities between him and her father. She sees in him the blue-collar guy that can help her fix things, that can help her build, whatever. But I don't know that she sees him. I don't feel that she respects him the way that she should. And I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. Y'all can put it in the comments if you disagree. Okay. And so some of their hiccups has to do with that. The whole night when she brought up the bean dip comment, and he was so afraid that he had offended AD and Clay that he actually slept on the couch that night, or slept apart from her while they were on their vacation, and actually was going to leave the island. He was going to go back home. He was that mad. So that's no way to start off a little vacation to, celebrate your engagement. So there was trouble in paradise early with them. Now, Bria, I'll kick it to you to give them some more of the story.
No, I'm not. Okay. So I don't know if okay. So, because I've been doing a little bit of sleuthing online, It seemed like right before this, Jeramy was engaged to another person.
Got it.
Didn't work out, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like it was a very quick turnover where I don't know it, and they were like, they had a house together and everything, like he sold his house, like it was all like recent. And so stepping into, I don't know if he wanted his 15 minutes or what. I can't figure him out. I thought that I would like him, but he's like the underdog of
the guys
of yeah, of the bad guys.
Let me say this. Let's say this,
because I did not expect
No, I didn't either. And you know what's crazy is when he was in the pods, in my opinion, he looked different than he looked when he was out. Because I thought he looked so nerdy. When he got out,
Yeah.
he was cute. He was really cute.
Right? Yeah.
I'm like, what happened? Why were you looking like having glasses on, your hair looking foolish? I don't know. But anyway.
Oh, but
I got nothing.
He reminds me of it. He reminds me of an ex. Like, that could be his brother or something. They had the same type of aspect, especially like in that last scene when she was talking to him,
and he had the mad face.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
he had the shade face. Okay,
but yeah. Anyway,
we're gonna wrap this up for you guys because it's gonna be more to follow. But here's what basically happens, and so.
Oh, Laura, you wanted me to wait. You wanted me to go to the story about like what happened that night?
Either you can or I can. It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I'll just add things as you go.
Right. Well, I'm gonna try to do it in a succinct way, and that way we can do a little commentary, and then we're gonna wrap this episode up. Simply because I think. Well, it's definitely getting late, but I think that even more than that, I think we've given them enough. Those that haven't watched, because that's not something we normally recap. So for our subscribers and our new listeners, we want you to go watch so you can join us next week when we really get into those next 3 episodes, y'all, because it's going to be on and popping every week until it's done. Till we get to their marriage, wedding day, the reunions, you name it, child, we're going to be here. This is the one we are holding on to because it is giving us life. So let me just give you Jeramy and Laura. They move in. He has an immaculate house, by the way. So if he was with another lady before, he had certainly set himself up. This house is amazing. Very sterile, very clean, very nice. She's impressed because she has her, opinionated ways. I told you she can be off-putting. Laura.
Is that his house or he's renting it?
Huh?
That's his house or he's renting it?
From what he said, it was his house. Now, he could be renting it. He may have been renting
it. Okay. Maybe I meant, because I thought he made a comment that, like, he wanted to, like, he didn't want to buy a house yet because he wanted his wife to be
That's right, that they were going to do it together. So, yeah, you're right. I digress. He did say that. But the house that he's currently renting is really, he keeps it immaculately. He does. And so she was, like, questioning his cleanliness and this, that, and third. But, he proved that, in fact, he is very clean. Matter of fact, borderline OCD. Not even borderline, OCD. So they settle into their place. Love is Blind supplies all the couples. And she gets the opportunity to settle in with him. They're living together. It's going okay. He gets a chance to meet her family. And that's her parents, her sister-in-law, and her brother. And they are checking him out like, dang, if you can really keep up with her and her mouth, her wit, her comments, then okay, we might be here for it. What we don't know, okay, let me say what we don't know, but we suspect it. So when he ended things with Sarah Ann, you can tell when somebody ends something with regret. And that was him, Jeramy with Sarah Ann, and Jimmy with Jessica. It was regret. Like, you could see it all over their faces. Right. The decision had been made. Sarah Ann decides once they're back in Charlotte. And again, remember, everybody gets their phones back. So Sarah Ann lets him know, hey, I'm here. If it don't work out, child, or if you still confused, I'm down to meet. Blase, blase, right? So Laura and him are working through it. I can tell he's still a little turned off by her and some of her comments. Like, she made a very snide comment when he said, he made a snide comment when they were making the flowers, and he said, see, you're not the smart one. There has to be a smart one in the relationship. And she's like, and you didn't even go to college. And he's like, you don't even know how many people I know that aren't smart. I mean, it's like they have this banter that lets me know that,
Right. But she cuts too deep and he doesn't
He
like
does, right? And that's what I'm saying. Their banter sometimes leans to unhealthy. It leans to verbal abuse, that it could get to that level. She's not nice. I mean, maybe that's her defense mechanism. I don't know. But you can tell it kind of does cut him and emasculates him sometimes. It does. And so Sarah Ann reaches out. So there's a particular night because they are all of the couples. And remember, everyone that's on that season lives in Charlotte and they are all connected and friends. So when they get back, they want to know what's going on with each other, blah, blah, blah. So the guys hit him up for a night out. He leaves to go out with the guys at 10:45, she says, and does not return home till well into 5-something in the morning. So the last scene before the last episode ends, you see him sitting there and her basically, now she's not flipping like I would, but she's clearly mad. Mm-hmm. And in his response, he shared his location. Child, if you share your location and the wee hours in the morning when you know your partner's asleep, you're sharing it with who?
Right.
Anyway, to make a long story short, he went out with some of the guys from the pods. Sarah Ann is in the mix. They let him know she's there instead of him saying, nah, that's not a good idea. He goes. Mm-hmm. Turns out he lets the sun come up talking with Miss Sarah Ann. At least that's what we know of now, is talking. She catches him. He tries to lie and says he's still in the same spot that he went with the guys, but child, he done shared his location, so she knows where Sarah Ann lives. That's where his car is on the north side, child, where she stay at, and that's how it ends. So my thoughts are, we're going to find out that he probably, let's don't even say probably. We're going to find out that he cheated on her with Sarah Ann. Yep. Ain't that much talking in the world.
None.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it's going to get more interesting. Laura says that she's done, and with her personality, it's highly possible, but Love is Blind is strange because it could mean now that there's a chance for him and Sarah Ann. Honey, we will have to tune in and see. We will have to tune in and see whether Miss Jessica gets to meet Jimmy. I believe it's going to happen. Matter of fact, I know it will.
Absolutely. You see it in previews.
Right. There's just so much that's gonna happen. There's so much more that we get to discuss as it unfolds. Y'all, listen. If you like reality shows, that's the one you need to be watching. We gave you our opinions, honey. We had to hop on because it's just that good. We're about to bid y'all good night. But what we want you to do before we do that, we want you to hit that like button, child. If you haven't already, please subscribe, share, so that other people can get this content and they can come back so we can talk about more Love is Blind stuff and all of our other great shows, Married to Medicine, and our pop culture segments. Y'all, and Married at First Sight, Denver, keep coming back. But like, please, subscribe, share, and then, guys, what do y'all think about Love is Blind, Charlotte, North Carolina? North Carolinians stand up out there. If y'all are out there, Charlotte is repping. Yeah. We're doing it for Love is Blind. Netflix, you did it on this one. You picked the right city. Y'all put it in the comments. Let us know what you think. What do you think of the show? What do you think of the couples? Child, put it in the comments. We love y'all. We're going to say goodnight. It's late. We got to work tomorrow. But thanks for tuning in. Please come back Saturday. We got some pop culture for you. We got a lot of things we need to talk about, child. So y'all come on back now. You hear? And Brittany, as always.
Right. I see you. I love you. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for you. See you Saturday.
See you Saturday, guys. Good night.
Bye.